Hello everyone and welcome. I don't know if this clip is going to be going at the end, or like in the middle of the episode or at the beginning, so there's that. So this project that I'm working on is a large panel made of these colorful lamps that will be used to display images. The most unfortunate thing about the setup is the fact that each row of the lamps has to be staggered, like this. There is not any way to do it where they're all coplanar. I suppose you could if you tweak the configs in a way that would allow you to have all of the lamps controlled by a single computer. But the way I'm doing it, I'm just raising the default components for each tier CPU from 8, 12, 16 to 8, 16, 32. And these servers have a tier 3 CPU and 2 tier 3 component buses to make sure that they have plenty of components available. And this is just like a little partial model. It's four rows of 32. The final build will have 64 rows of 64, as in 4,096 of these colorful lamps, 64 servers, and one master computer, which I've not finished the code for itself, but the code for controlling the lamps I think is probably good to go. And I don't know which one this is. So I could very briefly discuss how this works. So each of these scanline controllers, the servers, is going to be listening on a specific port. They've got the, what do you call that, the address of each of the lamps keyed in here. And this would be a monumentally tedious task if not for a little program I wrote, which I will cover in just a moment. And let's see, I've got a little function here that allows us to set the lamps by specifying red, green, and blue. You have to pack those colors into a single integer. It's 5 bits for red, green, and blue. That's how the colorful lamps work. So it's 32,768 total colors. Not a lot, but a pretty good number. Okay, and when we start up the program, as you may have seen 2 episodes ago, it will go through every lamp that's connected to the computer, not the ones that are in the list, and set them to, well, it looks like it's setting them to red. Oh wait, this is actually not the main control, that's actually reading the line that's sent via a packet. Okay. Right, and this function clear all lamps, that clears all the lamps connected to the computer, and then we go through the lamps that are in the list and set them to a kind of a fuchsia color, and that's mostly just for debugging purposes. If I miss a lamp when copying in addresses, then it will not turn fuchsia, it will just remain black. And then finally, it's just listening for messages via the modem. Okay, let's go ahead and restart that. And you can see it cleared all the lamps that are connected. Let me show that again. And you could see, oops. And you can see the ones that get cleared to black first. They're not in any particular sequence. I don't know how it does that. I think it just sorts them by their address, which is random. Okay, and this computer down here is what's actually sending all the packets out. This is reading a special file. Basically, this is just an image encoded in base 32, I guess you would say. It's each character represents one color of the pixels, so each group of 3 is 1 pixel, so it's red, green, then blue. And it's base 32, so that's 0 through 9, and then A is 10, B is 11, all the way up to V, which is 31. And since the colorful lamps support 5 bits per red, green, or blue, that works out to 0 to 31, or 32 possible combinations for each color. And it's kind of funny looking at this. You can actually see what the image is in a way. You can see like the outline of it. It's really cool. Okay, and I can just run that program. It'll send out the packets. I think I have it set to like something like a 1/10 of a second delay between sending each packet right now, which may or may not be necessary. Alright, so in addition to the 2 programs here, there are 2 more programs which are not running in the game. The first is the image converter. It can take in an image, such as a PNG file, and it will convert it to the base 32 file that I showed below. And that's pretty much all it does. Very simple. The second is also a fairly simple program, but I was kind of surprised I was able to do it. It's essentially a clipboard logger. Whenever I'm running the program, it will monitor the clipboard. If there are any changes, it will conveniently surround it by quotes and put a comma after it for easy copying and pasting into the lamp control program. And it just checks the clipboard several times a second, and if there's a change, it will print that out, and after like 10 seconds of no changes, it will quit. So what I do is I run the program, and then I basically just hold Control-Shift spacebar and fly along, copying the address of every single lamp. Without that program, the way I would have to do it is open the lamp control program, and I apparently put in the wrong thing. That's okay. Then I would have to copy in the address of a lamp, paste it in, copy in the next one, paste that in, and so on. And it would be very time consuming. This will make it so that I could probably set up a single row in maybe 2 minutes. So this will be a much more doable project. I guess I should also explain the way the wiring works here. So I've got some covers here to keep the cables separate and such. Let's see, that one's not currently needed. So I've left the sides for the server all default. So it's top, left, right, bottom. So the top server connects to the top side, which will connect to the topmost row in the group of 4. Then the rightmost, or no, the left side, which would be the right from my perspective, connects up to the next row. Then the right side, or my left, connects to the 3rd row, and the bottom connects to the 4th row. And connecting each group of servers, we have a power distributor to distribute the power, and a switch to allow only packets to pass through the cable here. We don't want these servers connecting up to the other servers or their components, so the switch is there to prevent that. It will only allow packets to pass through. And I think that's really all to say about this. I don't feel like it's spectacularly complicated, but I feel that way about everything I build, so maybe it is. I don't know. Either way, this is not something that's very practical to build in a survival world. Maybe if you did it with Computercraft, it would be easier, but so far this project has cost me, I think, around 2,000 diamonds in survival. I haven't crafted the colorful lamps yet. Let's see, what do they require? They're not too bad. That will require 256 stacks of iron and 64 stacks of glowstone, which is not bad. That's nothing compared to diamonds. Alright, I think that's all I've got to say, so I'm going to go start setting up for this project. Well, I was just wondering why the view of me installing the servers was so low. Apparently my other guy over there had gotten knocked off his block by the tornado and was just slowly floating downward. I gave him a vibrant jetpack. I think I might kill the second account pretty soon, or I don't know. It's still going to take me a while to get everything set up here. See, how many servers can I carry at once? I'll do 12. Alright, so we're going to do this top to bottom. So let's see, I want 501 and 502. Where is 503? Right there. Okay. 504. Then move on to the next one. 5, 6, 7, 8, and so on. Okay, let me go ahead and kill my second account. By kill, I mean log out and close Minecraft. I love how the dirt blocks are still over there. That's funny. This weather is not very helpful. Let me go find a bed. There's got to be one around here somewhere. Alright, so I'm seeing a potential problem here with the black borders. I'm gonna have to see how this looks with an image on it, but right now it looks pretty bad from a distance because of the black borders around each block. I could make a borderless texture and just create a small resource pack and give that to chaotic, but we'll just have to see how this looks. Alright, so let's go ahead and see, where's my analyzer? Right here. And I will need this portable terminal, and oh, I need to put down the switches and power distributors. Let's figure out how those are going to be positioned. Let's see, I could do like the power distributor there. And the network there, and just hook that up like that. That should work well enough. And I've just been doing this in kind of, I guess you'd call it an assembly line fashion, making one change all the way up, going back down, making another change all the way up. It just seems like the easiest way to do it. This is a very repetitive job, which doesn't really bother me too much. Okay, hopefully that will function. I don't see any problems with this setup, I think, unless that power distributor needs to be connected to another cable. Surely that'll be okay. Okay, and then back here somewhere is where we'll have another switch and power distributor, and I'm gonna have one, maybe two computers back here, depending on how exactly I decide to do this. I'd kind of like it so that I can control this through a tablet, if possible. But we'll just have to see how that works out. Alright, so what I was trying to show before, the way I'm going to configure this is I need a table with the address of each lamp in a row. And you can copy the address of something to a clipboard by, well, normally with the analyzer you shift and then right click to get information on it. Maybe just right click would work normally, but for the colorful lamps you have to hold shift. If you hold control as well, you will copy the address to your clipboard. That's the operating system clipboard. So you could copy that and then you could paste it in through another program. What I have is a simple just command line program that I wrote using C# that monitors the clipboard and will output any changes. So I just have to run along the line, control shift right click each one. I'm also holding spacebar so I don't fly downward. But I'm going to have to do this with every single row, all 4096 lamps. Yeah, there's no easier way to do this that I am aware of. How far down are we? I don't know. The command prompt window is getting very full. Currently I have it set so that it kills the program after 10 seconds of inactivity, so I just have to wait 10 seconds at the most. Wow, with this, I've got the command prompt window about as tall as my desktop, just kind of maximized vertically, and that just almost perfectly filled it. Okay, so now I'm going to come over here to this server, the very top one, and let's go ahead and turn all these on. Oh, no energy. Right. Let's see, do I have something I can just do a quick fix with? Make me a computer case. And do I not have a transceiver somewhere? Really? Okay. I'll have to go back and craft one while I'm waiting for that computer case. Alright, here we go. I just noticed I somehow have 34 colorful lamps left over. I have no idea how that's possible. I made exactly 4096, which should be the exact number I need. Okay, so you should have power. Do the guys all the way up here have power? No. Okay, I guess I'm gonna have cables going to that as well. Okay, let's temporarily move this server down to the bottom for easier testing. So you don't have any power. Okay, but why not? Ah. Okay, now it's lit up. So it would turn on from there. Okay, yeah, that seems to be working. I was like, why didn't it clear any of the lamps? But that's because I haven't entered any. Okay, so up here it's not getting any energy. Yes, one potential fix would be to just move the cable like that. And then put a cover there. Simple enough. Okay, I think that should be good. Everybody should be getting their power. And now we just need to configure this server. Could have sworn I just heard a note block. But that doesn't make any sense, does it? Alright, I'm gonna need to edit autorun.lua. For all the other servers, I will need to change the port number. And for all of them... Okay, I need to paste in that list, get rid of the last comma, and it should function now. So we should see it clear the line to the test color. Perfect. And since all the lamps turn to this, I don't know what you call that color. It's like max blue and green. Alright, only 63 more rows to go. Alright, so we've got about a quarter of the rows hooked up. Exactly a quarter, I think. And it seems to be working pretty well. I did have to redesign this setup a little bit. That chain of switches and power distributors, that was not good. The switches were creating loops. They were sending packets back down the chain, and the power distributors weren't working. It seemed like it just couldn't distribute enough power. So I've got these power converters hooked into an energy conduit line, and that works much better. And similarly with the switches, those are just all hooked into this one computer. And I was originally trying to upgrade the switches to get them to work better, so I've got all these spare parts now. So you're going to, yeah, and clear these hard drives. Kind of. Okay, well, that was kind of weird. So this seems to work. It's just a lot of work inputting every row. It's just very tedious. And let's see, what time is it? It's like 2:30 a.m. So I think I'm going to continue this tomorrow. Chaotic works something like 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. tomorrow, so I've got plenty of time to do it, as long as I don't sleep in too late. Well, this has been an incredibly time-consuming project. So there's one lamp over here that doesn't seem to want to work. I don't know why this specific lamp here doesn't want to work, but I've currently just got them cleared to red, and I've only got one real image in here currently. I'm thinking of having a couple. Alright, so I hope Chaotic enjoys having the biggest display of colorful lamps that's probably been ever made. And I hope he enjoys his new overlord. Wow, this thing is slow. Say hello to Panterbell. Yes, he's got a wonderful top hat and a little red ribbon, which you can't really see that well. This is some ermine-like creature from a visual novel called Princess of Angel. I don't really enjoy playing visual novels, but there's this guy I watch on YouTube who does a lot, and he's really funny. So that is where Panterbell comes from. Anyway, I'll think of some other images to put in here. I've actually got two of him. One where he's wearing this kind of his normal expression like this, and one where he looks sad. So I'm going to put that one in there too. But wow, this project is insane. I've been setting this thing up for hours. I think it takes me about 2 minutes per row at the very least. So that's 2 hours just to program all the servers, to copy the address of every lamp in using the clipboard logger program. If you had to enter them each one in by hand using a method that I think I showed before, it would take forever. And if you're wanting to set something like this up, I'm going to put the source code on Pastebin or something. I don't think I can distribute executables very well. At the very least, your browser would probably not want to download it. But I think this project is pretty much done. I've just noticed the servers, they make like a little noise now or something. Yeah, they do. That's funny. The switches, I did have to put hard drives in them to increase their queue size. I'm not 100% sure on the way these work, but I was getting some dropped packets, some scan lines that were not updating before, especially the lower ones. But I think now with the hard drives in the switches that it's working out well enough. And you can upgrade these switches further with CPUs and memory. But just the hard drives seem to have fixed the issue. Aside from that one random lamp over there, I don't know why. I checked to make sure I got the address copied in. Maybe I need to break it and copy in the new address. The bad thing about this display is if someone breaks one of these lamps, you're going to have to recopy the address. There's just no way around that. Alright, so that would be the second server. And I kind of wish I'd not copied a template of this program in. Let's see, it's the very last one. And just kind of kept the empty copy in a text editor and then copied everything in so I won't have to kill the auto run program every time I reboot. Or on the first boot anyway, I mean. Okay, are you going to be happy with that? The initial clearing of the lamps always works, or was always working for that last one. It's just when it was trying to display an image that it doesn't work. Yeah, it still does not like that one little lamp for some odd reason. I don't know why. It's very strange. Well, if Chaotic doesn't like seeing Panterbell all day, I suppose I could reprogram this display to do something else. Like, there's no reason it has to display only predefined images. I could use it just like a monitor pretty much, although it'd be a bit more difficult to program. But doable, so I could make it, whenever he finishes his energy core up there, I could make it display how much energy he has or something like that if he wants me to. But I'm just so proud of this project. It is so crazy, so impractical. I love it. And if you like it too, don't forget you can leave a like on the video if you want. And subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you guys in the next video. Oh, and don't forget to check out Chaotic's video for his reaction.